Have you ever grabbed something from the grocery store because it looked healthy, but later found out that it was jam-packed with unhealthy added sugar, oils, or preservatives? Today I'm sharing 10 of the most common healthy foods that can actually backfire on your nutrition goals. And of course, I'll share healthier alternatives that you could actually feel good about. By the end of this video, you'll be able to identify which foods to be cautious about, what to look for on the nutrition labels, and better alternatives that are actually healthy. If you're new here, I'm Ryan. I love making videos all about health, wellness, fitness, nutrition, and incorporating them into being a full-time working mom. Let's dive into it. The first food that I want to share with you today is yogurt. Yogurt has this general blanket statement of being healthy, when yogurt can be healthy, but in reality, the majority of those at the grocery store are not. And this is due to so much added sugar. A yogurt can contain more added sugar than what would be found in a common dessert. Yogurt can be a very healthy choice because it's loaded with healthy proteins, probiotics, etc. We just need to be really cautious about the added sugar. When you're purchasing yogurts at the grocery store, make sure you look for an option that is high in protein and one that has the least amount of added sugar or zero added sugar if possible. You can sweeten your own plain yogurt with berries, fruits for that added sweetness without the additional unhealthy added sugars. My personal favorite go-to is Siggi's yogurt. They do have a little bit of added sugar. I personally add frozen organic blueberries and some muesli to make like a little yogurt parfait. So healthy, yummy, tasty treat with minimal added sugar. The second food that I want to share with you is granola. Now, granola often gets marketed as being wholesome, super healthy choice, but it is so calorie dense and often baked with so much added sugar and oils. It is fine to eat a tiny portion of granola here and there, but it should not be that staple main meal or food that someone is picking. Oftentimes the portion of granola is about 1/4 of a cup, maybe 1/3 of a cup. And when people are pouring granola, they often eat way more than that. So maybe instead of having granola as a meal, instead you could have some of that yogurt that we talked about earlier with some one portion of granola on the top, or making some oatmeal with adding a little bit of a granola sprinkle on top for some extra crunch. The third food is sandwich deli lunch meats. These often very much get marketed as like a quick, convenient, healthy option for protein for a lunch meal on the go. However, the sandwich lunch meat is very processed. My number one concern with this type of meat is that they are chock full of added nitrites, which is associated with an increased risk for colorectal cancer. We know that processed meats, ham, bacon, sausage, deli lunch meats increase that risk for colorectal and we think pancreatic cancer as well. So a better alternative to this is just that making your own meats that haven't had that added processed ingredients to it. So you could make like some chicken breast and shred that up for a sandwich or a quick meal. Turkey, plant-based proteins. The fourth food is dried fruit. Now, don't get me wrong, fruit is amazing. Fruit is such a healthy choice. However, the problem with it is when it becomes dried, we can eat so much more than actually eating that whole real fruit itself. The second problem with dried fruit is it oftentimes is loaded with added sugars, like cranberries, craisins, for example. People think this is such a healthy food, but it is just loaded in so much sugar. A small portion of this dried fruit is fine, but the better option would be just to eat that real fruit. It's jam-packed with those nutrients, all that fiber and water, helping someone to feel full. Also, if you want dried fruit, like I love dried mango. I love that snack when I'm in a pinch, on the go, have nothing else, but I make sure that I am purchasing it with no added sugar. And then I also watch that serving size because again, I could eat way more than one serving of a dried fruit compared to when I have the whole real fruit. The fifth food is wheat bread. Now, I think we started seeing a whole bunch of like white wheat bread and like really refined wheat bread so that people were choosing this instead of like the plain white bread when they didn't like the whole really grainy type of bread. I think it's a marketing scheme. Most of these wheat breads can still be really processed, still with refined flours, minimal fiber, minimal nutrients. Carbohydrates are amazing. Carbohydrates are great, but we want to get that from our whole, real foods as much as possible. I actually have a video on carbohydrates. Check that out right here. I think right here, somewhere. I'll put that link up here. If we're eating breads, making sure that it is 100% whole grain, 100% whole wheat. We want it to be minimally processed. This type of whole grain bread is going to give you lots of those healthy nutrients, fiber, keeping you fuller for longer, helping stabilize blood sugar levels compared to like the such refined, processed wheat breads that we're finding on the shelves. One of my favorite breads to buy is the Ezekiel Food for Life products. Those are so good. And then I do love like the Dave's Killer Bread products too. All right, halfway done. The sixth food is flavored oatmeal packets. Oatmeal is so good for us. However, when it's in a little package, it's been so processed, those oats are broken down. And the problem with it is it has so much added sugar, artificial flavors, artificial crap added to it. So a better option is just to buy whole oats. Make your own oatmeal. It's oftentimes cheaper too. And then add your own real fruit, cinnamon, additional flavors to help flavor that rather than buying all of the like sweetened packaged processed packets of oatmeal. The seventh food is protein bars. Protein bars get often marketed as just being this like healthy food, healthy snack to take on the go. They are just literally glorified processed candy bars with some added protein into it. They are not healthy and they're often very expensive. You can get much healthier, less expensive options to eat instead of a protein bar that you could take on the go. So you could really make your own protein bars if you wanted, with some oats, protein powder, different ingredients. You can find recipes everywhere for those. Or my personal go-to is just like a piece of fruit and a little handful of nuts. Protein, healthy fats, fiber, nutrients, you're good to go. The eighth food is salad dressings. Now salads get marketed as being healthy all the time when in reality, especially out to eat at a restaurant, oftentimes these salads can have more fat, calories than just getting an actual meal off the menu because of all of the junk that's added to it. And one of those being the salad dressing and the amount of salad dressing that is added to a salad. These bottled, store-bought salad dressings are often very high in sugar and added oils. And again, the portion is very minimal. So a better alternative to bottled salad dressing is just to make your own with some authentic olive oil, some balsamic vinegar. You could also use just like some lemon, some herbs, some fruit to help flavor that salad. The ninth food, these drive me crazy, are those veggie chips because they're called veggie. People think that they're often healthy, and they're really not. Most of these veggie chips or straws are just potato or corn flour with a little bit of vegetable powder sprinkled in. They are literally just chips in disguise. A better option would be some roasted chickpeas or some air pop popcorn, or just eating some real vegetables. And finally, my last food is trail mix. A lot of people think that trail mix is healthy because it has nuts and dried fruit in it. But let's be honest, trail mix is jam-packed with a whole bunch of unhealthy candies, yogurt-covered raisins, and this dried fruit with all of this added sugar like we talked about earlier. Also, the portions of trail mix can add up very quickly, leading to excess calorie intake. My tip for you is making your own trail mix. It can be very healthy. Purchase your own nuts, maybe a few pieces of dark chocolate, and unsweetened dried fruit would be a much healthier option. So you can control what goes into it. And remember, the portion size is important too. The big takeaway here is that not all foods that look or sound healthy actually are. The key is to check ingredients, watch portion sizes, and find simple swaps that actually support your health goals. Which of these surprised you the most? Let me know in the comments. I would love to hear from you. Hi. We're really gonna do this? Hi. Oh my gosh, dog. Well, hello. Hi. You are so silly. Okay, we're gonna share the chair today? This is how it's gonna go. Okay, great. That's gonna be all for this video. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.